Come out of the box.
Hello YouTube, we back. Cheers and welcome to The Basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
And The Basement is the first daily hip-hop debate show. From Tuesday through Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So welcome back, Basement family. Today is a straightforward and easy one. Every now and then, we go behind the microphone in the sound booth and take a look at the backbone of hip-hop music. That's right, the producers. Today, we debate who is the best producer out right now. That means the producers have to have at least one song on the Billboard Top 100 in the past 2 years and are currently making music or impacting the industry in an objectively visible way. You got it?
Thanks.
Easy. Okay, so before we get started, you guys have to check out our sponsors. The Fleetwood Spice Collection, y'all. For a spice-changing experience, give the Fleetwood Spice Collection a try. Big, bold flavors unlike anything you've ever tried before. The Fleetwood Spice Collection, y'all. It's time to change your spice.
Put it on your pizza, put it on your wings. Y'all seen us on the show.
We do it. We use it.
Many feet.
Listen. Today's question: who is the best producer out right now? With that being said, Lego. We back.
And as Bruce alluded to, every once in a while we like to shed light and give props to the producer.
Yeah.
You know, primarily we debate about the artists and who's who from what coast and this, that, and the third. But, you know, I think it's necessary that we give a little light and props, you know, and shine to the dudes behind some of the music.
Well, like I said, it's the backbone of hip hop. Those beats is one half of what creates hip hop. What created hip hop? The beats. The other one is the rhymes. So
that's a fact.
You know, there's no hip hop without those beats. Producers, bro. Let's see what you got.
And it's to be noted. It's to be noted because one would tell you, any old school hip hop head would tell you, the DJ is just as important as the artist. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, maybe more important. Sometimes, 2
turntables and a microphone.
As we know in more recent times, sometimes the beat carries the artist.
Many times.
So,
I have a feeling a lot of the people you're going to mention has that problem.
I have a feeling a lot of the people you're going to mention has that problem.
But let's go.
We're not going to do the artist like that.
Let go.
But with that being said, I won't hold y'all. For me, top producer in the game today, young man by the name of, if Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Oh!
If Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, y'all have heard that in many of songs. Probably your favorite songs, you've heard that. And the reason being to that is because the guy behind the beat is Metro Boomin, Young Metro. This kid is 23 years old, originally from St. Louis. Now got his feet planted in Atlanta, which is why some of the hottest groups or artists coming out of Atlanta, he's touched their beats. And they've all gone on to be #1 song on the billboards. I could start anywhere from the Migos, the Bad and Bougie, which might have been his biggest hit to this day, because that cross genre, transcended genres and everything. They still using that song today.
It's bad and bougie, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bougie.
To everything from the street music that the kids listen to with Young Thug or 21 Savage. You take your pick. The 21 Savage, the No Heart.
Young Savage, why you trapping so hard? Why these niggas capping so hard? Why you got a 12-car garage? Why you pulling out? I grew up in the streets without no heart. I'm praying.
Certified Platinum. That song, Certified Platinum. You look on YouTube, it has over 150 million views. So you may say you wasn't feeling 21 Savage or he's not the greatest lyricist, but somebody's feeling it, and I would like to think, or as Bruce alluded to, it's probably because of the music. Once again, the magic that Metro Boomin does. And as I said, it's not just, it's not, and me and Bruce had a conversation before we went on, and it's not just one particular type of sound. Yes, he does the up-tempo joints with a 21 Savage or even Future, and if you check a lot of the Future and Drake joints, that is Metro Boomin behind those, which is why Future coined that, if young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. That, you know, because a lot of the Future joints, you know, he ad-libbed on or whatever the case, you know, top charting songs. Such as Jumpman, Big Rings he has with Future and Drake. Jumpman. I remember that one. I'm So Used to This, which is more recent with Future and Drake, which is probably at 160 million views. That's just, you know, that's just regular for Metro Boomin. What I was surprised at it, he touched the kids like Kodak Black, at Tunnel Vision, when Kodak just released, recently was released from jail, and he had the #1 charting song. It was also produced by Metro Boomin. Tunnel Vision. The Tunnel Vision.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you remember that one. That's Metro Boomin.
I know.
You know.
It all sounds the same.
I get into a couple of more produced tracks by Metro Boomin. We'll let her tell you who his pick was for the hottest producer in the game today.
Listen, best producer out right now. Criteria: better beats and the most influence. So you say there's a really hot trend going on right now, and I love the fact that Metro Boomin is on top of that trend. The trap music, trap beats is hot, and he's one of the best at it. That being said, there's another part of influence that I'm talking about. It's called importance. Hip-hop importance and cultural importance.
And that means what exactly?
I'm going to tell you right now. Not only are we talking about the guy who was VP of Good Music, okay? Not only are we talking about a guy who is executive VP at Capitol Records, not only are we talking about the guy who has another VP position at Def Jam Records, okay? Let's not forget importance when we talk about influence, and his name is No ID. Chicago born, Chicago raised, Chicago stayed. This man has produced this year. We're not gonna go back to when he did I Used to Love Her. You see, we're talking about classics. Everything that you just mentioned with Metro Boomin is a trend.
Are we talking in the game today?
We're talking about the trend. It's my turn.
You told us
I'm talking my turn. The last 2 years is what we're using to get the person. Now that I have the person, let me tell you who he is. He's the person who produced songs like I Used to Love Her, staples and classics in hip-hop. And he continues to do that to this day.
Which ones in the last 2 years?
Jay-Z put out an album, 444. Have you heard of it? I'm sure you did. Because it was #1, debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, and had 262,000 albums sold in the first 2 weeks. That's important.
He executive produced the whole album?
He executive produced the entire album and made every beat on the album. You can be an executive producer and not make all the beats.
That's a fact.
But he did both. He made every beat, did every edit, and executive produced the entire album. No ID by himself. A couple other credits on there.
That's impressive.
Now, this is the most important album this year. Can you agree on that? Okay, if you don't, then we'll agree to disagree. It is. Because the songs like Bam, featuring Damian Marley, songs like Story of OJ.
Light nigga, dog nigga, faux nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, po nigga, house nigga, field nigga. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
That is trying to change an entire culture. See, this is what I'm talking about. Influence The beats are so diverse. Metro Boomin sounds exactly the same. I'm gonna let you get into it, and I'll get into that on my next rant. But right now, understand that this dude is more important than you think. Vince Staples, Nas.
Yeah. For my brothers with daughters, I call this. I can't leave her defenseless. Plus, she see me switching women, pops was on some pimps. She heard stories of her daddy.
Kanye, Common, and Jay-Z, people who win Grammys, and yes, he has Grammys, and yes, he has platinum plaques, but more importantly, his importance in the game, his longevity in the game. He's the best out right now. 444 proves that. And there's nothing you can say against that. What has any one of the guys you're going to talk about done anything more important or better or groundbreaking than 444?
First of all, the producer that I told you guys, he alluded to that the artists that he produced, the beats were carrying them, which would show a different type of skill set.
Many times.
When you produce who many has already deemed as the best rapper ever to touch a microphone.
That's why he chooses him.
You know,
he's the best because he chooses the best producer.
You know, this album was any better than the one that Timbo or Pharrell produced or whatever, or this was the most important album. Is Jay-Z a better rapper than 21 Savage and Kodak Black? Sure, you never get an argument out of me.
Has Metro Boomin ever executive produced a classic album?
Beats, the best out right now. Well, you people have spoken for that already. And let's go to some of your favorite songs. How about Future and Low Life? Yeah, I'm rapping for the low. That's by Weeknd, the singer Weeknd. This is where, you know, the fork in the road comes, because when you try to peg and say, oh, well, all his beats sound the same, and then I throw out something like,
say it. Say the one that he has that's different.
Trophy with Kanye West and Future.
Exactly.
I want me a trophy. A trophy. I want me a trophy. We get the banging on the walls just to piss the neighbors off. You in the 12-foot ceilings, ain't just painted through the house so I can breathe with you. I wanna live my dream.
Even a broken clock can be right twice a day. It's the one song that you can find that's not.
Which sounds nothing.
That's not just a trap
like
beat,
the other
period.
songs I alluded to.
Period.
Also, how about I Love McConan going up on a Tuesday? Nothing like the 21 Savage or Bad and Bougie that I mentioned earlier. And that was, once again, a hit and a chart topper.
They sound the same. It's the rappers that don't sound the same.
Somebody please feed back and tell him how silly and ridiculous that he sounds to say that you my trophy.
I didn't say trophy. Trophy is the one that
so
like I said, a broken clock.
You want to let me finish mine, or you want to get yours?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right?
Please do.
So, you know, yeah. Obviously, his beats don't sound all alike then, right? Whatever broken clock theory or whatever garbage he's trying to throw at you. The bottom line is all his beats do not sound similar. All his beats are not sounding the same. But they have the same results, is my point. They're all at #1 on the billboards at a certain point. Facts. And when that is, I choose to go by who you referred to, Jay-Z, the #1 artist, and his saying, numbers don't lie. You look at billboards and you look at charts, you look at YouTube views over the last 2 years, and you look at producer who has the most of those. You're talking Metro Boomin.
So I say to that, there's a song called Run This Town with Rihanna on it. Multi-platinum. The youth loved it. It was No ID. There's another song, the Holy Grail with Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z. We say, well, it's just Jay-Z. Well, no. Ask the people who like Vince Staples. Did the youth like him? Is Vince Staples of the youth?
Not Vince Staples is.
No ID. Not only did No ID produce a lot of his songs, No ID, Vince Staples will tell you, made him the artist that he was, made him become the artist that he was, grew him importance, people. And I have another thing to say. Not only does he also have the youth, okay, with those people that I just mentioned, people who also have platinum plaques, people who also went #1. But on another note, what you said about who has the best beats, a lot of times we forget production isn't just making a beat. You make a beat and sell it to somebody, yeah, that is a production. He is an executive producer. That means he does arrangements, breaks, the album concepts. He actually does beat concepts. He plays instruments, and he also does the direction of the song and the album. This is what a producer does. We've dumbed down the word to producer to mean you make a beat and sell it to somebody. That's kind of a producer, but really you're a beat maker. Production. If you look at a production company, look at people who do producing, whether it's movies or beats or music, it has a lot more to do with the actual artistic arrangement, the actual artistic direction of a project. That's what a producer does, and that's where he wins. That's where he wins. It's not just a trend. He's a producer of hip-hop music on all levels, in every genre of hip-hop, and he's good at every single one of them, and he's got the Grammys and platinum plaques to show for it, as well as the executive production marks. I rest on that. When Metro Boomin has an executive production credit on any album and it's better than his, then we can start talking. Making a beat, I make 10 a day. It's not a big deal.
Again, when your beats start to become Billboard's #1 joints and your beats are in football game halftime and transcend hip hop as Bad and Bougie, and yet you haven't named anything from Vince Staples or any artist that you name that's done more than Bad and Bougie.
Vince Staples, Big Fish.
You know, name a joint that's bigger than Bad and Bougie. I'll wait.
How about this? How about I name something that's going to be bigger than Bad and Bougie 10 years from now?
I'll wait.
These are trends. Holy Grail will still be there.
You say it's a trend. The topic of the day.
The story of OJ will still be there.
The topic of the day, and that's because Jay-Z is such a great artist, as we know him to be.
This is executive production.
The best of all time. He's the best rapper of all time. Irregardless, the topic of today was who's the hottest producer today?
Who's the best producer today?
Today.
Also, let's please remember Common, his last album, Black America Again. The joint with Stevie Wonder on it. Yeah, that was not Metro Boomin. That was No ID.
See how mixed up he is?
Oh man, this guy. That's what happened when you just start saying a whole bunch of stuff that make no sense.
Who won the battle today, folks?
No ID produced that.
Who let you know?
No ID produced that. Go check it out. Anyway, listen. Who won? What do you guys think? Leave the comments right down there. You know what it is. I know you know what it is. But if you feel differently, say what you say. Who won? Who lost? And if we didn't say yours, you tell us who's your favorite producer out.
Y'all let us know who we
Let us know. Let us know. Who was your favorite? Leave it right down there. Also press that subscribe button. Listen, before we leave, I'm just gonna give a couple shout outs who left some comments. Holden Douglas. He says, my top 10, 1, Eminem, 2, Biggie, 3, Rakim, 4, Nas, 5, Tupac, 6, Jay-Z, 7, KRS-One, 8, Cool G Rap, 9, Big Daddy Kane, and 10, Big L.
Yo.
Not a bad list.
I love lists like that. I love lists like that because we could sit there. I could sit down with you and chop it up all night about that very list. I like lists like that, but they all solid.
And he also said he was upset because he wasn't upset, but he mentioned not being happy with we didn't have Eminem anywhere on our top 10, and I said it's simply because he does too much silly stuff. If he stuck to doing things that an entire album of great stuff and not the Comic Dog and all this other stuff, he'd make it on that top 10, no doubt.
Marshawn Perkins says, tell Slim to listen to Gotti Pride to the Side. I don't know. Is that a song he has?
Yeah, he's saying if you want to know how he caught his feelings, and a song where it proves that he was showing his feelings.
So the song is called "Pride to the Side." I will go check that. But if he's not actually saying Dolph's name and he talking about subliminal lines, rappers do that every day. Let's be honest. But I will check the joint out. I will see what's happening. I mean, because if the thing about that was, if Gotti started it, why would he be in the streets, you know, gunning at a dude, or at least, you know, having his goons or whatever gunning at a dude or whatever? Like, it just doesn't add up to me. Like,
I guess you gotta check the song out. Rodney Lee, you left a bunch of stuff, but more importantly, you were tuning in every day all last week when we went live every day, and so I just wanted to give you another shout out. You left a lot of comments. Appreciate that, Rodney Lee.
Sonya. Is Cardi B the new female face of hip hop? Sonya Toombs. That's a good. You know what? I like that. I like it because she has reached #1. You got to give her credit for that.
Not only has she reached #1, she's actually done a lot of milestones as far as sales and against her competition, people like Lauryn Hill.
And that's crazy.
Yeah,
because she comes from the circle of the reality television thing. She didn't come, which is a new generation and a new era. Like, she didn't come from, you know, I'm not sure, mixtapes and all of that, but we remember her from the Love and Hip Hop series.
Right.
So, and she actually, you know, she's doing her numbers right now. You can't take it from her. Is she the face of hip hop as far as females? That's something to debate. Y'all, please feedback on that, all of y'all. Y'all let us know what y'all think, females, ladies, what y'all think about that.
I think it's a debate we should have. I like that. I like that.
Appreciate the shout out. I appreciate the comments on you.
All right, so that's everything for today. I'm sure we have a lot more coming or going that we haven't seen, but we will shout you out. Keep leaving those comments. Press that subscribe button. Press the little bells to make sure you get indications whenever we upload something. And if you love real hip hop, check out Team Box Cutter Beats. Yeah, we're producers too. Check them out. Right down there. Right down there. What you gotta say?
Appreciate all the comments. Keep subscribing. Like my man said, you need those beats that you hearing. Check my man Bruce for those beats. We got them all day. It's on deck. We out of here.
Peace.